The week in 60 minutes.
At a point in time when you and I know that Cameroon's economy is crawling, and then you get such a report, which of course this correspondent addressed to the Minister of Economy went viral, took the social media by storm. Silvanus, how can we correct these errors of?
Yes, I want to say something. 2 billion requested by the president of the Economic and the
Social Council.
This is my first time of even hearing that such a an institution.
Some of the consequences of creating commissions whose impact are never felt.
It's the first time of hearing that such an institution exists in Cameroon, because I had never thought that it's still in gestation, even though some people had been saying it exists. To me, practically, I thought it was a body that was still in gestation, that it will come to maturity maybe in some years to come, and whose function will be well defined, because I have not seen the practical impact of that body in Cameroon. Now, coming to the 2 billion, let me tell you, to the fellow Cameroonian that is listening outside there, to spend a billion francs, you have to be using 100,000 francs every day, and it's going to happen like that for 27 years. 27 years. You have to be spending 100,000 francs every day, and it will be done like that for 27 years. So we are in a country where the minimum wage package is 40,000 francs. And many youths are unemployed. I can imagine how many youths are outside there languishing in poverty, misery. They are unable to have a square meal per day. Some of them are living in their parents' homes, houses, squatting with them because they lack even the nearest million or 2 million francs to make a carabot for themselves. I can imagine areas in Cameroon that people are dying of cholera. I can imagine the number of Cameroonians that have died on our highways because the highways have been neglected. Either they are dilapidated or they are narrow, they are modest and all the like. I can imagine the number of Cameroonians who die because of kidney failure, because there are no equipment in the hospital. The number of women who die in the process of giving birth simply because there was power failure and they never had a standby generator. I can imagine the number of people who are sweating every day to pay PTA levy in primary schools, which they gave free education so many years ago. And that PTA levy is there because the primary schools lack infrastructure, they are not well equipped with teachers, and they have to be managing. And yet in this country, an institution of that caliber that is supposed to protect the rights of ordinary citizens, the Cameroonian, is demanding the state, the president of such an institution is demanding that the state should disburse the amount of 2 billion francs for his house. He wants to live paradise on earth when the majority are dirt and only living by maybe divine mercy, because one, you don't have to eat, you don't have where to shelter. What importance is life?
All right.
So it's regrettable. I think that this only comes to corroborate the fact that
30 more seconds,
money is used in this nation illicitly to enrich private people, and the notion or the general logic is la raison de plus fort est toujours la meilleure, as La Fontaine said it. The Trasimaco said it. Justice is in the interest of the stronger party. So when they do these type of things, nobody will say anything after all, because they acquire There are choristers who sing the praises of the regime in place, so the regime will overlook it.
All right, now Kedia, looking at this issue as well, at a point in time when Cameroon is struggling, standard of living, government authorities prefer spending huge amount of money in the acquisition of luxury properties instead of brainstorming on how to use the billions of francs CFA for the well-being of citizens who battle on daily basis for survival. Your own point, maybe 1 minute, please.
Institutions are very important, and all institutions have what it takes for the good job. If the President of the Republic has a presidential palace, does it mean that since Cameroonians are dying of kidney failures, we should not have a unity palace? Does it mean that since we need pipe-borne water, we should not have the National Assembly building? Does it
Kenya, we are talking of a private home.
Fake is not a private home.
A private home.
Not a private home. Can I talk? Permit me to talk.
We have all gone through that secular.
Allow Kedia to learn.
A building is built
for the state.
It's for the state.
No.
Permit me to talk.
Allow him.
I thought we are educated here.
Calm down, gentlemen. Now, is it at the level of the president of this commission to request from the minister that amount, or it is the initiative of the government to embark on such a project that, as a member or a head of this institution, would need to construct a home for you?
Good.
A home, thank you. A home for you.
Good. And that is the appellation that you are wrong and my co-panelists are wrong. The building is constructed for the president of that commission. Now, if he dies tomorrow, the next president coming will be there.
So
if President Pabia dies tomorrow, the unity palace does not belong to him.
You are justifying 2 billion.
It belongs to the state.
2 billion.
So it is fake and wrong that we come and shout on TV and lie to Cameroon.
We are telling the truth.
That's what I want you to
know. It belongs to the state. We should not lie.
The truth is bitter. That's why we are saying the truth.
Yes, it belongs to the state.
Good. Why should people lie?
Why would the state use 2 billion francs to construct a building for one individual?
Why should you lie that it's personal home?
Gentlemen.
Now, I expect us to have moral value, not to lie.
We are saying the truth, gentlemen.
My question here is, maybe I didn't ask the question to you correctly. Now let me ask you correctly. Is it at the level of the president of this commission to demand for the construction of the house of the president of the commission, or
what volume of money?
An initiative that is supposed to be taken by the state to decide through the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development that we need to construct a state-owned home for the president of this commission? Which of them?
Very good question.
Which requires an answer.
Good. The president requests. Is the request of the president. It could be rejected by the president of the republic. It could be rejected by the prime minister. It could be rejected. It's just a demand he has made.
Join us every Sundays from 2 to 3 p.m. as we edify your view regarding pressing topics on Radio Das. Radio Das.